On August 13, 2018, a man stood in front of news cameras in Colorado. He was crying. He begged the public to help find his missing wife and 2 young daughters. He looked like a devastated husband, a broken father. He was the one who killed them. His name was Chris Watts. And what he did to his family in the early hours of that Monday morning is one of the most disturbing crimes in modern American history. This is the full story. Chris Watts was 33 years old. He lived in Frederick, Colorado with his wife Shanann and their 2 daughters, Bella, aged 4, and Celeste, aged 3. To the outside world, they were the perfect family. Chris worked as an operator for Anadarko Petroleum. Shanann ran a thriving home business selling health and wellness products. They posted family photos on Facebook constantly. Smiling, laughing, happy. But behind closed doors, something had been rotting for months. While Shanann was away on a business trip in the summer of 2018, Chris had started an affair. Her name was Nicole Cassina. A colleague. Chris became obsessed. He told Nicole he was separated, that his marriage was over. He started talking about a future with her. There was just one problem. Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant with their 3rd child. On August 12, 2018, Shan and returned home from a business trip at 2 a.m. She was exhausted. She just wanted to sleep. The couple had a conversation. An argument. Chris later told police Shan and had threatened to take the children away from him. At some point in the early hours of that morning, Chris Watts strangled his pregnant wife to death in the bedroom, while their 2 daughters slept down the hall. Then he went to check on Bella and Celeste. What happened next is so disturbing that even hardened investigators struggled to process it. With 3 bodies in his house, Chris Watts went into autopilot. He loaded Shanann's body into his work truck. He put his daughters inside, Bella and Celeste, in the back seat. Then he drove to an oilwork site owned by his employer Anadarko Petroleum. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave near one of the oil tanks. Then he lifted the hatch covers on 2 large oil storage tanks and dropped his daughters inside. Bella was 4 years old. Celeste was 3. He then drove to work and acted like nothing had happened. Later that day, Shanann's friend Nicole Atkinson became worried when Shanann missed a doctor's appointment. She went to the house, knocked. No answer. She called police. Officers arrived and found the house empty. Shanann's car still in the driveway. Her phone and shoes still inside. Then a neighbor mentioned they had a doorbell camera. The footage showed Chris loading something large and heavy into his truck at 5 a.m. Officers brought Chris in for questioning. He sat calmly, answered questions slowly. Then, he asked to speak to his father on the phone. In that phone call, not knowing it was being recorded, Chris told his father he had done something terrible. That was enough. Chris Watts confessed. But his first version was a lie. He claimed he had woken up to find Shanann strangling Celeste, that he had killed Shanann in a rage to protect his daughter. Investigators didn't believe him. They pushed harder. Finally, Chris Watts told the truth. He had planned it. He had killed Shanann first. Then he had gone to his daughter's rooms. Bella had woken up. She looked at her father. "Daddy, no." Those were her last words. Police searched the Anadarko oil site. They found Shanann's shallow grave within hours. Then came the oil tanks. Investigators had to drain them to search inside. They found Celeste first. Then they found Bella. The autopsy revealed something that broke every investigator at that scene. Bella had fought back. She had scratch marks on her neck, meaning she had not died immediately. She had tried to survive. She was 4 years old. Chris Watts pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to 5 consecutive life sentences with no possibility of parole. He will die in prison. In prison interviews, Chris Watts has shown little genuine remorse. He has given multiple conflicting accounts of what happened that night. Some investigators believe he has still not told the complete truth. Shanann was 34 years old. How does a father do this? How does a man look into the eyes of his own children? Children who called him daddy, and choose to end their lives? Psychiatrists have studied Chris Watts extensively. The conclusion most have reached is chilling. He didn't see his family as people in those final hours. He saw them as obstacles between him and a new life with another woman. That is the most disturbing part of this entire story. Not the crime itself, but how ordinary Chris Watts was. A neighbor, a colleague, a coach at the local gym. The kind of man nobody ever suspects. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico deserve to be remembered. Not just as victims, but as people who were loved, who laughed, who had a whole life ahead of them. The Crime Vault will never let their story be forgotten. If this story affected you, share it. Let the world know their names. Subscribe to the Crime Vault for a new case every week. The vault never runs dry.